Welcome to Arts News, friends. I'm your host, Jimmy Ray, here with you every Friday, 10 a.m. to talk about people, places, and things to do in the arts world of the Ozarks. Randy Bacon has a brand new documentary film out. We talk with him as well as MSU Dance and Theater Department about their new production. A lot of music and more here on Arts News. Let's go. I'm Jimmy Ray. Welcome to Arts News. Photographer and filmmaker Randy Bacon has spent more than 35 years telling stories through portraits and documentaries. His latest project, The Soft Surrender, may be his most personal and profound yet. The film follows hospice and palliative care patients and their families, opening a conversation about love, loss, and resilience of the human spirit. Ahead of its red carpet premiere at the Gilloy's Theater on Saturday, November 1st, I have the opportunity here to talk with Randy about the stories behind the camera, the courage of those who shared their final chapters, and how art can help us face what many try to avoid, our own mortality. Randy Bacon, welcome to Arts News.
It's a pleasure being here.
So glad to have you here. I've had Mandy on board before, enjoyed your work over the years. You're
Thank you.
Certainly a hometown hero that many folks look up to, humanitarian, and we love your artwork, and we appreciate all your contributions.
Oh, thank you. You made my day.
The Soft Surrender here is a documentary and a portrait exhibition. A red carpet premiere will be happening Saturday, November 1st at the Gilloy's. There's a pre-party at 5 p.m. The film will premiere that night, same night at 6:30 p.m. There'll be a post-film panel discussion and then a post-party at 9 p.m. So a great night of cinema and art, photography, and learning about our fellow humans and something that we're all going to have to go through, which is the big curtain call of death. And looking at your portraits throughout the years, Randy, and we've reported on them before, humans are right there in the center of it. I guess there really is no better subject, but what drew you to humans and wanting them to be center stage in your expressions?
Great question. The journey there was quite unexpected. And because, believe it or not, growing up, I was an extremely shy guy. And so the last thing I wanted to do was to photograph humans, so I photographed all the other things. But then I got, I guess, a little brave and started photographing humans. And something within me, it's like, okay, this is what you're supposed to do. Now, I had no idea that it was going to culminate in the work that I'm doing now.
Right.
But it grew from that little seed where, as an artist, I was like, wow. At that point, there was probably 6 or 7 billion people in the world. I was like, there's no one else like this person. I'm just photographing right here.
Yeah.
And I got deeper into it, and then I realized, it's not only the portrait, it's the story. Each of us have this unique story that is actually part of not only the life we're living, but the purpose on why we are living. So the two of those kind of connected, and I realized, as a photographer, and I like to call myself an artist, the goal of what I want to do is present the unique, beautiful qualities of people, no matter what your walk of life, but also share that they have a story that we all need to hear, because within the story itself, there's wisdom.
Yeah, I agree with that. Each story is so unique, and the thought that people have their own lives, and we can look at our own lives going, each detail, each struggle, each triumph, and that so many people around the world have their own experiences like that. It's such a strange thing to try to wrap your head around. And for some reason, photography, your photography in particular, just can capture it without saying a word. And I just think it's intriguing. You mentioned when you started taking photographs, it wasn't of folks, and then you went into that. When was this? How young were you when you started snapping pictures?
14 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was the first camera you had?
It was a Pentax 35 millimeter.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, my mom, she said, here's $150 and let's go to Springfield and get a camera. And that's what we did.
Yeah. Meaning you wanted one, or she saw something, or there was an interest that you saw photographs and were...
I was always a creative kid.
Yeah.
And not only visual, but I loved music. I started playing guitar at about the age of 12 or something.
Nice.
You know, so it was all in there.
Yeah.
But I really had never taken a photo until I got that camera.
Yeah.
And so looking back on it, I think maybe she did see something, you know?
Yeah.
And again, who would have known how that would all turn out? But oh my goodness, what a journey.
Yeah. And so that's right here. Was that right here in Springfield in the
Yep.
Ozarks? Okay. So
Yep.
born and raised here.
Actually, I was born and raised in Lebanon, Missouri.
Okay.
But
Close enough.
so on a Saturday, if I recall correctly, we drove to Springfield and went to Walnut Street. There was a camera store down there forever, and that's where we got it.
Yeah. I think I remember that camera store. Back in the day, they'd have it. It seems outdated even when I remember seeing it, but cameras and stuff all in the windows. Maybe it wasn't the same one, but you said, I noticed in the press release that The Soft Surrender, which is the name of this documentary that you've done, is one of the most meaningful projects of your life. What was the moment, or maybe there was a person, that made you realize you needed to create this film in particular?
You know, this film, there's such a, I'm trying to think of the right word, serendipity. It's just almost like the pieces kind of came together in and of themselves without me, like, I got to make this happen. And about 2 years ago, it'd be 2 years this December, I woke up one morning, and I can't recall the day, but I woke up and there was a message from a lady that I've known for quite some time. Her name is Tara Belinsky. She said, Randy, I had this dream that you need to do a film on this topic.
Wow.
End of life. And she said, would you ever consider doing a film focused on the journey and potentially what may be the last chapter of people and how they're being taken care of? And that's how it all started. So I can't say it's like, oh, it's my big idea,
Right.
because it really was not. But the beauty of that is like, okay, yeah, there is that serendipity. And that serendipity's kind of happened throughout this entire process with the film. You know, after that initial idea, and I said, yeah, let's talk about this. And Tara, which works for Phoenix Hospice, and she's one of their executives, so we met and we talked about it, and she said, we have to bring in Hospice Foundation for outreach.
Okay.
And let's see if they have interest. And they did. So it wasn't like I had to pound it in their heads or anything like that. They're like, yeah, we need to do this.
Yeah.
And from there, it just, the pieces kept falling in place.
Good. Well, I guess you don't want to blow against the wind. When things like that happen, you kind of answer the call when the knock is there.
Yeah, and you know, some of the, and maybe it's even most of the work I've done, it kind of happens that way. And not to say that I don't keep doing things to get opportunities and think of ideas for opportunities, which I do, but still, at the end of the day, it's some of the most beautiful things I've done. It's like, okay, I think the planets aligned.
Yeah. We just reported on Nevertheless, She Persisted, which is
Yes.
an exhibition that just happened. And so you've got a new gallery down on C Street?
Boy, do we. Yeah, yeah. We got this crazy idea. You know, I was downtown forever, and then in 2020, we moved to Commercial Street, and we were renting from an individual I know. But we saw a building, and it had been pretty well. One side of it was totally not open to the public for over 20 years. The other side had a flea market in it. But my wife and I were like, that's a cool building. And we always used to say that.
Yeah.
So I reached out to the owner, conversations ensued, and we bought the darn thing.
Nice.
1879,
Wow.
and it needed a lot of work.
Yeah.
It is not for the weak of heart to do
Yeah.
this type of thing,
Right.
but it's done. It's beautiful. We're in, so we have a new gallery and two artist studios.
Very cool.
Yep.
Yeah. Excellent. So over your 35-year career, you've used portrait photography and film to raise awareness of important social issues. How does this project continue that thread, but was there anything that differed from past projects that you've done?
You know, there's always going to be that connecting thread being the human and our journeys. And I will say also part of my inspiration for doing the work I do in general is that I figured out from photographing people, it's like one way or another, we all have big challenges in our life. And we all have these concerns and fears and on and on and on. And so that was part of the foundation of why I should do the work, because the story's there, gives wisdom. It helps people whether you're walking the same journey or not.
Yeah.
Particularly with the soft surrender. And you think about this, I don't think there's another topic in the world where 8 billion people should have interest in it.
Right.
There's nobody that is exempt from the fact that we age, and eventually there's mortality.
Yeah.
And me personally, I'm going down that same journey, and I have to tell you, I'm like, whew, this is kind of rough. It gets a little scary. It's like, you have all these questions. It's like, am I going to live to be a ripe old age with good health or not?
Yeah.
And I think we all kind of battle with that at one level or another. And so for this film, it's like, this can be the voice that helps people gain a certain sense of peace.
Yeah.
So that maybe we don't have to concern ourselves quite as much and instead try to live the day.
Did it do that for you?
It has. I still struggle.
Of course.
But I go back to the film. The film features 6 main stories. All 6 of these stories are centered around an individual that's currently on palliative care or hospice care. But each of them bring to the viewer unique perspectives. Interestingly, they bring perspectives on what it means to live.
Yeah.
We did not have like all these preset questions that we wanted them to answer certain ways. It was more organic, and what happens. And so I go back to those stories, and there's certain ones it's like, oh yeah. And I remember this person saying that, and that resonates. And so it kind of just gives you that little lift.
Yeah.
That's what I want the film to do, actually. I don't want people to walk away from this film and be like, whew, I'm depressed, I'm down.
Right.
I literally want people to feel like, well, I have like newfound wings.
Yeah.
I feel lighter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's almost like the conversation, the film, Soft Surrender, and there's folks meeting their end, but there's just as much conversation or more about life than death within the film is what I'm hearing you say.
Yes. Yeah. There's, the 6 stories, and they interweave, and you kind of get to know them, and you're gonna laugh, you're gonna reflect.
Yeah.
At times you may shed a tear.
Sure.
At the end of it, it's like, I think I just fell in love with 6 different families.
Yeah. Are these local families, or did you travel around?
Southwest Missouri.
Southwest Missouri.
A couple
Okay.
of the stories actually were down, the Joplin area.
Yeah.
And the rest, well, gosh, we went all over Southwest Missouri, nowhere beyond that. But within the context of those stories, I also wanted to shed a light on how are we taking care of our people when they are potentially in their last chapter. And so we enlisted experts from all the different types of palliative care, hospice, mental health, and they comment on the whole system, and they also comment on their perspectives on this thing called mortality.
Yeah. These people see it every day.
They see it every day. And quite frankly, you could probably ask, I don't know, if you asked 100 people, 80 might not even know what palliative care is.
Right.
They're like, can you tell me what that is?
Right.
Or hospice. They're like, okay, well, yeah, if you're on hospice, that means that you're done. Well, goodness gracious sakes, no. A lot of people graduate from hospice.
Wow.
One of our main characters, and her name is Becky, she's been on hospice for years. And I was telling you about, there's these lines that resonate with me. She had one, and I'll never forget it. And she said, okay, here she is on hospice, and she is declining, but she said this with all the life and energy you can imagine. She said, I've got a lot of life yet to live. And I'm not just talking time, I'm talking about living. And there is a difference between living and time. And I'm like, that's right. We focus on, well, do I have 10 years, 20, 10 days? We focus on all these things out there, and it's like, no, let's just talk about the time we have now, and what does that mean to truly live?
Wow. Yeah, that gives me goosebumps.
Well, me too.
Talking with Randy Bacon, portrait photographer and filmmaker and director of this new film, The Soft Surrender. It's a documentary in partnership with the Hospice Foundation for Outreach And there's a red carpet premiere happening Saturday, November 1st down at the Gilloys. A pre-party at 5 p.m. The film will show at 6:30 p.m., followed by a post-film panel discussion, and then a post-party at 9 p.m., all right there at the Gilloys Theater downtown. You can find information and tickets at gilloystheater.com. And the film is circled around that thing that all 8 billion of us will eventually meet, and that's death. And when you said that earlier, it truly is the one thing that connects every single living person on the planet, that you will go. The documentary intimately captures the experience of hospice and palliative care patients, as you said, and their families. How did you gain the trust to tell these 6 stories? How did you approach that? Was it in partnership with some of the folks that were surrounding them, their families, their caretakers? How did you get that trust? Because it is such a vulnerable time.
It's one of the most vulnerable times. And, we had help as far as identifying who could potentially be considered for one of the main stories.
What does that mean, potentially considered? Meaning their situation or their open-mindedness, or what did you? Okay.
Yeah, their open-mindedness, and we also tried to create a diversity, as far as age and diagnosis, ethnicity. We wanted to create a blending of stories where it's like you're going to relate to somebody.
Yeah.
And so through the help of hospice agencies and Hospice Foundation for Outreach, Cox Hospital, Mercy Hospital, we got the main 6 subjects, but I never get tired of this. Here you have, and this is with a lot of my work, I'm capturing somebody with the portraits and then also getting their story. And what I'm capturing is a raw, vulnerable thing. This one is like probably the most vulnerable and raw. It's like, yeah, I'm at this stage and I could very easily say, no, I don't have time for this. But it was very easy for people who were like, no, I want to be part of this because where I'm at in my journey may help somebody else where they're at in their journey. That was the motivation of everybody. And I have to tell you, though, I love it because almost all of them, when it was all said and done, they're like, I think I'm a movie star now. There's this joy about it. And I'm like, that made me happy.
Yeah. What a unique experience to be a part of. What did the production look like? How long did this take when you guys were traveling around? How big was the crew? I mean, could talk just a little bit about that. I mean, you were going to people's homes, I assume?
Yes. Yeah. So the process, we literally started talks 2 years ago this December.
Okay.
We started production a year ago. Actually, right now, we started the very end of October, started production.
Wow.
And, I had a smaller crew because I didn't want to go into these very private spaces and create a kind of an unreal environment that's uncomfortable. But with that being said, each session that we did with the main storytellers was typically anywhere from 3 to 6 crew members. That worked really well. And then on top of the stories, then we also had to do all the interviews for the experts. And we did those in a multitude of different places. And then also something we haven't even talked about, early on in the process, it came to me. It's like, oh, wait a minute, we all face this. We all face this issue. And we all have these different opinions on, when you hear the word death, what do you think? What do you feel? And when you hear the word living, what do you think? What do you feel? And so I got the idea. It's like, well, I'm just going to do some impromptu interviews. Basically just on the street people. They have no idea what I'm going to ask them. They agree to be on film, and then we ask them those questions.
Yeah.
And there was like 14 or 15 of those. So kind of the connector of the main stories and the experts are these impromptu, very short interviews where people just very candidly talk about those things like we would in a normal day.
People who are not facing death, people are living their life.
No.
But boom, what do you think about death?
What
How
do you think?
Feel about it?
Yeah, we have ages from 18 up to about 72 in the impromptus.
Wow. Brilliant.
It was fascinating.
Yeah.
And again, that kind of became like, oh, I want these different questions to kind of introduce the different chapters of the movie.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, it was. I think that was, just one of the things I had in my head, and I was like, give it a go. And then I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
That was a good idea.
Yeah. Talking with Randy Bacon. I'm sure you've heard his name before, probably seen his work, humanitarian, photographer, filmmaker, and his new documentary, The Soft Surrender, talking about death, talking about folks who are going through the final chapters, the folks who surround them, the folks who care for them, the process, and the insight and the wisdom. And this is premiering on a red carpet review Saturday, November 1st at the Gilloys Theater. The pre-party starts at 5 p.m. and then 6:30 we'll show the film in its entirety, followed by a panel discussion with Randy and who else will be there? Is it with filmmakers and partners?
We're going to have a couple of the experts that would join me on the panel, and that's going to be kind of the main three, but from there, we may have other commentary from maybe we may have some storytellers there.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, so.
And then follow that, you're going to be having a post party at 9 p.m. So a fun night, a meaningful night at the Gilloys, downtown Springfield. More information at gilloystheater.com. I've dabbled in film. I did a documentary on Ozark folk music. I know you get a lot of footage, you know what I mean? And then you get to the room and you start cutting away. But when you were filming, was there anything off limits? Was it cut? Or is it no matter how tough this may be, we're going to keep rolling and possibly be able to use it? Or were folks who were on board saying, we need to see it, we need to say whether this is going to work or not, or they just say, this is the full picture of what's happening here?
I kind of like, with my approach and my style, I kind of like things to happen as they do. With this film, no, we let it run.
Yeah.
If there were tender moments, we let it run with the idea, well, we may or may not use it. But I want to create this connection and this conversation with the subject going and growing. So the subjects will get more and more where it's like, this is me, this is my story, take it or leave it. That's where the honesty comes from. That's where the raw vulnerability appears.
Yeah.
And then that, in the end, becomes the power of the film.
Talking with Randy Bacon here, portrait photographer and filmmaker, about his new film, The Soft Surrender. I watched the trailer. It was done well.
Thank you.
Is that a public trailer out there right now?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, it is.
Where can folks see that?
It's on the Gilloys site. Mm-hmm. And then it's being shared around other social media, including on mine.
Okay.
It'll be on both.
Excellent. So the title itself, The Soft Surrender, it suggests both peace and letting go. So what does that phrase mean to you in particular? Did you come up with it? How did that come around? Where's that meaning lie? How did that title hit?
Did you get the backstory on this?
I did not. That's what we're here to do.
I thought maybe Mandy told you something.
No, she kind of let this one hang.
You remember I said there was serendipity?
Yeah.
Okay, this is another example. A good friend of mine that lives in Kansas City became friends with actually a musician I followed since about the year 2000. His band is called Clem Snide. Clem Snide is a singer-songwriter and has released 10 albums. Wow. He was on Sony Records, still does music, like all the time. And so my friend in Kansas City just became friends with him. And in the conversation of it, he became aware of my work and had no idea I was doing a film. And his name is Eve Barzilay. He is Clem Snide. He is the leader of that band. And so Eve told my friend, her name's Polly, he said, if Randy ever needs music for a film, let me know. And of course I'm like, Polly, I'm getting ready to do the film. And so she connected us. His newest album came out in November of 2024. Go back, that's exactly when we started production.
Yeah.
His entire album is about life and death. And I'm listening to the songs and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is literally like the soundtrack to this movie. The way he talks about things, and it's the feel of it and everything just goes right with the feel I wanted for the film. So I was listening to the music, and there's one song that's called Free, which I really like, and I thought, man, there's a line from that song, and I thought, I think the line was finally, we can be free. something to that effect. And so I was talking to Eve about this, like, would you mind if I use one of the lyrics from this song as the title? And he said, you can, because he agreed to provide the music.
Beautiful.
And he said, but Randy, my album, his newest album is titled Oh Smokey. But he said, really the title I wanted to use was called The Soft Surrender. And he said, I think you should call the film The Soft Surrender. And that, when I heard that, I was like, oh my gosh. I mean, that's it. Because there's a piece in it. As you said, there's kind of like a letting go of it, but it's a letting go not of weakness, but of strength. There's even a hope in it. And so it conjures up this beauty versus despair.
Yeah.
So that became the title of the music, or the title of the movie. Now, all this being said, we are flying Eve in for the premiere.
Oh, very cool.
And he's going to perform 4 songs that are featured in the film from that album.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Very good. So, did you use the music from his 2024 album, or he did new music?
We used probably 40% of that album somewhere in the film. But it's really great because he gave me pretty much carte blanche to his entire inventory of music.
Wow.
So we pulled music from all the way back in 2005 to 2010 range.
And you got him coming in for the premiere. This is killer.
It's cool.
Yeah.
It is very cool.
We got Randy Bacon in studio today talking about his new documentary in partnership with the Hospice Foundation for Outreach. It's called The Soft Surrender, and there'll be a red carpet premiere November 1st at the Gilloys. The pre-party starts at 5 p.m. Film will show at 6:30. Panel discussion to follow, and then a post-party at 9.
Yes.
It's going to be downtown Springfield, November 1st, The Soft Surrender. More information, ticket information, and just more information surrounding the project and the night is at gilloystheater.com. I assume you probably saw maybe a spectrum of spirituality here. At the end, people kind of always, I wouldn't say always, but that seems to float to the top, even folks who have never been spiritual or religious. Talk about maybe some of the things that you saw in the spiritual world. Was there anything that hit you or changed within you during the process as well, watching these folks go through it, or watching their relationship to the end and spirituality?
Yes, for sure. Again, we had no like pre-plan that we wanted this all to come out.
Right.
So we wanted things to flow, but that was one topic that came out a lot.
Yeah.
You know, that there is a higher power, and that the higher power has a higher plan that maybe we don't even understand, and we probably will never understand. We have a wonderful hospice chaplain. His name is Jesse, and he was one of the experts. And he said some of the best things, but he said that, you know, people come to me and they think I've got it all figured out because I'm a pastor, I'm a chaplain,
right.
and, you know, I've studied it and everything. And he said, I like to look at him and say, I really don't know. I really don't know. But then he goes on to talk about the importance of what is important in life and how to get through things. So I think there's a big power with spirituality for all of us, but at the end of the day, there's still going to be the questions, but we need to come to peace with those questions.
Talking with Randy Bacon here about his new documentary, The Soft Surrender. It's showing at the Gilloys on November 1st. More information at gilloystheater.com. So after the audience leave the Gilloys Theater on November 1st, what do you hope that they'll carry with them after seeing this film, after hearing these stories?
I love that question because, you know, you go see a $200 million major production and you leave and it's like, well, that was a great movie, but you don't leave with much. A lot of times. Sometimes you do, of course. I want people to leave with, it's almost like I've got newfound wisdom. I've got newfound hope. I have newfound questions on how this country cares for people. You leave with all of these questions that just don't go away. But in the context of those questions, there's also, as I said, it's like, I feel lighter. I really don't want people to leave. I want people to be touched. And if you cry during the movie a little bit, it's cool.
Heck, I cried during the trailer.
I don't mean to sound like a mean person, but
Sure.
I'm like, yes, they're crying.
Sure.
But it's a good cry. And then when you leave, it's like, I hate to even say this, but I feel surprisingly better.
Right.
Even though I've watched these stories of individuals that are at a pretty rough time.
I think overall through our conversation, that's hope and comfort is what this project is about. It's about removing the veil of fear, or pulling it back a little more than it is now. Everybody gets scared of it. Young folks, old folks, but every day is, it just changes. Things change and life moves on, and then eventually it will end for every single person on earth. So this film is just one way to offer some comfort and insight and pull back the veil of the process. And, you were talking about hospice care and the folks around it. During your research and stuff, was there frustrating moments seeing how some folks will have to go through it? I don't want to speculate or give anything away about the folks in the film itself, but I assume there's many folks out there who the process can't be as loving and as comforting and as caring as many other folks. So in the research, did you uncover things that maybe frustrated you or even made you angry with resources, or the idea that every single person has to go through this, but certain people can have it this way and other people it's going to have to be this way?
Yeah, and this happened a lot with the actual main stories, but more so with the expert commentary.
Yeah.
And they revealed a lot of the struggles that they face, which I had no idea. All the red tape, all the restrictions, all of the insurance agents, insurance companies saying no.
Yeah.
And
meaning so-and-so needs this or would make this process a lot better, but you're not getting it.
Insurance won't approve. And then even like these great organizations such as hospitals. Hospitals are designed for profit now. They're designed to bring in the revenue, and everything is focused on, well, how can I get the most revenue? And that's usually treatment, whether it be chemo treatment or on and on and on. End of life is not a big revenue generator for the big institutions. So they don't dedicate near as many resources to that. So and that came out. I had no idea. Yeah. We got to interview a palliative doctor with Mercy, and she was even talking about the education system. And of all the universities in the country, she said in a given year, palliative-focused doctors represent maybe 300 that are actually in a program. And then you think, wait a minute, doctors as a whole, of course, are probably tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands each year that are going through some type of medical program. But even universities do not dedicate too much to that end-of-life care.
Wow.
And so that stuff came out, and I was like, that kind of infuriated me, really.
Yeah.
And so, I said, I want people to have questions when they leave this. Of course, that starts conversations. That's one of the questions I want people to ask. It's like, well, why is this? We're all going to be at this point. Mm-hmm. Shouldn't we be looking at it? It's like, no matter if you're the president or just a normal person, you're going to be facing that. And don't you want good care when you're at that point?
Right.
That was a question. Yeah. And so get people fired up a little bit.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, I know it's going to be a riveting film. We're talking with Randy Bacon, hometown hero, humanitarian, portrait photographer, and filmmaker. His latest film, The Soft Surrender, in partnership with Hospice Foundation for Outreach, tells 6 stories of folks reaching the end of their life and the folks surrounding them, and many other aspects to the film. It's going to be a red carpet premiere Saturday, November 1st at the Gilloys Theater, downtown Springfield. A pre-party at 5 p.m. The film will roll at 6:30 p.m., followed by a post-film panel discussion and a post-film party at 9 p.m. More information, tickets, and more about Randy and this particular endeavor at gilloystheater.com. You can also find Randy on social media and more about this film at Facebook, Instagram. And Randy also has a beautiful website, which is randybacon.com.
Yep.
That you can see a ton of his portraits and some of his past projects. It's stunning if you don't already know his work. I know many of you do. Randy, I appreciate you taking time with me today. Curious, one last thing.
Yeah.
Moving forward, do you think anything from this project's going to seep into your future work? Is it going to propel your work? Is it going to expand your mind, your efforts in the future endeavors?
Yeah, it seems like my work adds on each other. You know, when I finish a project, and especially this one, it's like, okay, the project's done, the exhibition's done, whatever it is, that end thing I've created. The worst thing for me is like, okay, it's done, but now let's just stop.
Right.
So we work with incredible people, including now the Hospice Foundation for Outreach, where it's like, oh, when it's the premiere's done, we're just starting.
Yeah.
And so for me, like for this particular project, it's like, this has to get out there.
Yeah.
So for the next year to 2 years, we're going to be on a big marketing campaign of trying to get this film seen by as many people as possible. So that means film festival circuit, and hopefully that turns out great. But we're looking for other avenues to show the film, and to get this to where ultimately that we get theatrical release, but probably more realistically, it'll be I want to get on a streaming platform, so then anybody anywhere can explore this topic and hopefully, again, walk away with newfound wings.
Yeah. I think those are all great avenues, and I look forward to how far this can go. Randy Bacon, thank you so much for your efforts here and all that you've done. And stay in touch, won't you?
I definitely will. Thank you very much.
I'm Jimmy Ray. You're listening to Arts News here on KSMU. I'm Jimmy Ray. Welcome to Arts News here on KSMU. And the MSU Department of Theater and Dance is bringing Dance Nation to the Credo Arts Center. It's running this weekend through October 27th. Tickets at MissouriStateTix.com. And the Credo Arts Center is over there at 931 South Kickapoo. Today on air, we have Nikki Ferry, director, and one of the performers of Dance Nation this time around, Sav Jordan. Friends, welcome.
Thanks for having us. It's so nice to meet you.
So, Dance Nation, this one is not for the kiddies, right, Nikki?
No, it is not.
Okay.
It's a coming-of-age story about a troupe of competitive dancers, and it deals with some really hard-hitting subject matter of adolescence, but it does include a lot of strong content and language in adult themes.
Yeah. How do you guys pick your shows? Is that something that's a committee, or you guys get together and talk about it?
It's actually a committee, but it's also we have a process at the beginning of the school year, which we just actually are going through right now, where students get to put in suggestions, faculty get to put in suggestions, and then it goes through a committee, and then it goes through pitching the shows, and then it goes into I'm on the faculty and part of the faculty, then we do vote when it's finalized. But what was exciting about this is a student wanted to pitch it with me. My assistant director, Caroline Johnson, and I talked about it last fall, and so it's a very important play for young female identifying women.
Yeah.
And so we wanted to pitch it together.
Excellent. So, I mean, I'm sure there's tons of shows out there and a lot get tossed in the pile. Can you do any show that you want, or is there like red tape where actually we're not going to be able to get the rights or whatever to this one or that one? Or can you pretty much, like music, I can just go play whatever I want? You know what I mean? Is that how it is in theater?
Yes and no. We had to go through a process with this because there's some specific casting considerations that the playwright, Claire Barron, had in place in the play. So we were to have a diverse cast, but there is actually stipulated by her. And so there's some considerations with certain shows that you have to follow the playwright's intentions.
Interesting.
Yep. So it is. You could want to do something, but if you don't have the student body to do it, then you have to choose something that fits your student body.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah.
And performer Sav Jordan, welcome to the studio.
Hi.
What's your enthusiasm on this show coming up? Is the cast and crew really excited about this? Is it a tough show?
The cast has gotten so close throughout this rehearsal process, and I think we're all just antsy to get it in front of an audience, because this is a show that I feel like will really just come alive in front of an audience. Yeah. It's very funny. It's very heart touching.
Yeah.
it's just a lot of fun to do and be a part of.
Yeah. So it's Missouri State University Theater and Dance Department. Is this mixing those two, or is this just an acting performance?
I mean, I'm an actor with a dancing minor, and I know that there's a couple other in the cast that are like that. There's also musical theater majors.
Is
in
there
the cast.
dancing in the show?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, there is.
Absolutely.
There is, and some of it's quite funny too.
Is there song as well? People singing, or is it more acting and dancing?
It's dance.
It's dance.
Very cool. Very cool.
And you might find this funny. The impetus for the playwright to write it, she watched copious amounts of Dance Moms and was, I think our dramaturg said that they were equally parts disliked Dance Moms and also loved it, and wrote this play kind of in response as a platform to talk about adolescence.
Yeah.
So yes, as research this summer, the only time in my career I can say I watched Dance Moms for research, Sav.
Oh, I've absolutely
Yeah.
been watching Dance Moms for research.
It can, the competitive kind of, whether it's like the beauty pageants or the dance contests or even like baseball and stuff, with the kids in there, things can get pretty serious and like intense and kind of awkward at times. So
And I think this play expresses that beautifully.
Oh, absolutely.
interesting. I'm talking with Nikki Ferry, director of the upcoming show Dance Nation, along with Sav Jordan, a performer. The MSU Department of Theater and Dance is running Dance Nation through October 27th over at the Credo Arts Center. That's at 931 South Kickapoo. And you can pick up tickets at MissouriStateTix.com. Do you guys have website, social, if folks want to know more about the show?
We have a Instagram, we have a Facebook.
MSU Theater and Dance on Instagram, MSU Musical Theater, and MSU Acting.
Excellent.
And then also our website that you can find through MissouriState.edu.
Nice. Now, is this the beginning of a season, or how does your guys' season run?
Well, we just finished, Midsummer was our first show, and we
okay.
have this, and then ending up for the end of this semester, we have Spring Awakening, Duncan Sheik's musical,
Okay,
and we're
yeah.
ending with our fall dance concert. And then in the winter, going into spring, we have a new collaboration with the symphony that's, I don't remember the exact title, but it is being written by Josh Young, our musical theater assistant professor of musical theater, and it is going to be a musical that looks at the life of both Sondheim and also Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Yeah.
And then we are ending our play will be Airness, which is about an air guitar concert, like competition. So I guess another competition. And then we have our spring dance concert.
Wow, full
in April.
year.
So we did a really big production season.
So how does this work, Sav? Are you in all of those, or do you have to audition, or is it you pick and choose? How does that work?
So the semester prior to the semester, we will audition for the shows. So like last semester, I auditioned for the shows this semester, and those are usually happen online, and then we do in-person callbacks.
Nice.
And then we get cast from there. So I'm only in Dance Nation this semester, but you might see me in future shows.
Yeah,
And
very good. What year are you?
I'm a sophomore.
Okay. Are you from around here?
I'm from Kansas City originally.
Kansas City, okay. So what got you into dance and theater?
So I did theater for the first time. I was in A Christmas Carol in my middle school, and I just like absolutely fell in love with it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I know that this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. And even if I'm not on a stage, like I would love to teach theater. Like
Yeah.
I just have an intense love for theater.
What is it about theater? I mean, obviously some people just gravitate towards certain things, but what is it that keeps theater enduring year and decade and generation over generation, Sav?
I think a musical that put it really well for me, Be More Chill, and I love play rehearsal. It's like getting to play so many lifetimes, getting to live so many
Yeah.
lifetimes in one lifetime.
Yeah.
Like it's so beautiful.
Interesting. So Dance Nation's coming up this weekend, running through the 27th. It is not for the kiddos. This contains a lot of mature content, and you can check out their social media, Missouri State University Department of Theater and Dance. You can search them on Instagram, Facebook. You guys doing the TikTok thing yet?
I think they just started
Yes.
that. Yes.
How big is the cast looking like this time around?
There is 9.
Okay.
Wait, plus we have
Plus
3 people.
ensemble.
We have 3 ensemble members, and with all of our understudies, including some of the ensemble, we have 14 people.
Okay.
So a lot of work goes into this, and then with
Yeah.
our crew and all that, we're looking upwards like 20, 25, 30 people's hands have been
geez.
on this production.
Yeah.
And
That's
we've been
intensive.
brainstorming this since we cast the show in May.
Yeah.
And we had production meetings starting last April. And so it's interesting to watch how it plays out. It takes months to build a show, and it takes a village to really do this.
So when you're talking about all the shows that you guys are doing, I assume all this preparation, if you're going that far back, it overlaps. So, I mean, you're going from April and you're working up till now,
Yeah.
but then you started the next show you know.
They're really good about, usually for us faculty member, we only are usually involved in directing one show a season. Because we also have our teaching responsibilities and other things. So after this, I already pitched some shows for next year. We'll see what happens.
Very cool.
But so then I'll go on, and then another professor will take up the other shows coming up.
Well, that's good, because if you try to be doing too much, it does not work out. I mean, same with being in the shows. I mean, trying to learn lines or just whatever. So interesting. Sav Jordan, performer, and Nikki Ferry, director of Dance Nation. It's happening this weekend over at the Credo Arts Center, 931 South Kickapoo, and you can pick up tickets at MissouriStateTix.com. You can head over to the website, which is connected to the Missouri State website, and just search for the Department of Theater and Dance as well as the social media out there. If you want to learn more about this show or grab tickets, like I said, MissouriStateTix.com. Thank you so much, Sav and Nikki. Have a great show. Break a leg.
Thanks so much for having us.
I'm Jimmy Ray. You're listening to Arts News here on KSMU. Welcome. And Springfield Mid-America Singers, under the direction of Dr. Tom Matrone, will present their fall concert on Sunday, October 26th at 3 p.m. at Immaculate Conception Catholic Church, located at 3555 South Fremont Avenue in Springfield. This concert is free, and you are all invited. The concert will feature the Requiem in D minor, K626, a Requiem Mass by Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Mozart began composing the Requiem in Vienna in late 1791, but it was still unfinished at his death on December 5th the same year. Other composers filled in the rest and composed additional movements. This version of the Requiem is presented in 7 versions, and more information can be found at the Mid-America Singers website at smasingers.org or on their Facebook page. It's the Mid-America Singers presenting their fall concert. This free event will take place on October 26th at Immaculate Conception Catholic Church. I'm Jimmy Ray. You're tuned in to Arts News here on KSMU.
Hey little bluebird, how are you? Is it fun to fly in a sky of blue? Is it fun to sit and keep an eye on me as much as I enjoy to watch you in the summer breeze? Hey little bluebird, why do you stay through all the months of winter and all the snowy days? Why don't you fly where the sun is warm for you when it's cold outside? What do you do? Where have you been? Where do you go? Flying in the sun, flying in the snow. You're so lovely, I'm glad you're here, my little bluebird. sun, flying in the snow. You're so lovely, I'm glad you're here, my little bluebird.
I'm Jimmy Ray. You're listening to Arts News here on KSMU. That was Casey and the Atta Boys with their new single, Little Bluebird, now available on all streaming platforms. You can find Casey and the Atta Boys on social media or visit their website at CaseyAttaBoys.com. And Turner Collins will be playing Celtic Harp at Vine Pairings, located at 3830 South Lone Pine Avenue, this Sunday, October 26th from 2 to 4 p.m. It'll be music from Ireland, Scotland, Wales, and beyond. There's no cover charge for Turner Collins this Sunday at Vine Pairings, 2 to 4 p.m.
Hey, pretty little black-eyed Susie. Hey, pretty little black-eyed Susie. Hey, pretty little black-eyed Susie. Black-eyed Susan Brown.
Earlier this week on October 21st, Violet Hensley turned 109 years old, a remarkable milestone for a true Ozarks legend. Hensley, nicknamed the Whittling Fiddler and the Stradivarius of the Ozarks, began making fiddles as a teenager in Arkansas, following the footsteps of her father. Over her lifetime, she crafted dozens of instruments from native woods, performed for decades, and taught generations of musicians. But probably best known for her work at Silver Dollar City in Branson, Missouri. In her home workshop and on festival stages, Hensley blended her woodworking and musical talents into a singular art form. And you can almost hear the echo of that fiddle in every corner of the Ozarks. Her story isn't only about fiddling. It's about passion, craft, and the way culture is handed down from one heartbeat to the next. On this week's birthday, fans across the region and beyond are sending cards and memories recalling the times they hovered near her bench as she carved scrolls or watched her fingertips dance on the fiddle strings. It's a celebration of not just years, but a lifetime devoted to living traditions of our home. Happy 109th birthday, Violet Hensley. And this Monday, October 27th at 7 p.m., the Moxie Cinema will host a very special screening of the Missouri Stories Production Lab short films, Disordered, Recovered, Whatever, Don't Hang Up, and Skips a Generation, followed by a Q&A with the filmmakers moderated by the Missouri Film Office Director, Andrea Sporkett-Klund. The Moxie's located at 305 South Campbell Avenue. It's happening this Monday, October 27th. Missouri Stories Production Lab showing 3 short films. Continued accolades for the Logan-Rogersville Marching Band. More on that, KSMU reporter Mavis Parks.
This past Saturday, Logan-Rogersville High School Wildcat Marching Band attended the Festival of Champions, held at University of Central Missouri in Warrensburg. The band was one of 28 competing groups from across Missouri and Kansas. Despite inclement weather, the competitors were able to perform their preliminary shows. However, finals performances had to be canceled. LRHS's preliminary show performance earned them the Outstanding Drum Majors Award, Outstanding Color Guard Award, and the Outstanding Percussion Award in the Class 3A category. LRHS also received awards for their percussion and color guard teams. placing first in both the indoor color guard competition and the indoor percussion competition, both in Class B. Additionally, the group received the title of Grand Champion at the event with a score of 87.67. To get this award, LRHS's score was compared to all other bands' total scores across 4 different class sizes. In second place was Platte County with a score of 84.33, and in third was Lee's Summit North with 84.32. To say our band's students, staff, and families are beyond excited and proud to finish our season as grand champs is an understatement, said Krista Wellman, LRHS band parent and band booster media lead volunteer in a statement. This season's show at LRHS, which was performed at the competition, is called Our Verse. It was inspired by the film Dead Poets Society and features sounds and quotes from the movie, and visually ties in schooling with our uniforms, props, guard flags, and more, said Wellman. The show is directed by LRHS band director Chris Seiko, who has been at the school for 2 years now. Prior to working at LRHS, Seiko was the band director at Ava High School for 16 years. LRHS also used this competition as an opportunity to honor former classmates Bree Williams and Ryan Newsom, who passed away in a vehicle crash at the beginning of the summer. Williams, who is involved with LRHS band, was commemorated with a picture of her clarinet and a quote dedicated to her on the band's team shirts, and additionally through several field show props. These included chalkboard drawings picturing clarinet notes and song lyrics from My Chemical Romance, a band featured in the show. Bree was a shining example of kindness, compassion, cooperation, and leadership in the band, and her life as a whole. She was on track to be a clarinet section leader this season as a junior. Our band has been mourning and missing her dearly, added Wellman. We will continue to honor Bree's legacy. For more information on LRHS Band, visit www.logrogband.com or check out their Facebook page. For KSMU News, I'm Mavis Parks reporting.
That's all the time we have for Arts News this week, folks. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you next week right here, Friday, 10 a.m. for Arts News.